Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and gender non-specific viewers. I am Gooded Cheese, he who is slightly less good than grated cheese, but still not so bad, and I want to take you on a tour of my settlement at Egret Tours Marina. One of the things that I try to do whenever I do a settlement build is I try to take into account the landscape surrounding the settlement, how in the real world, I guess, human life might thrive in an area like this. And so I try to build all my settlements keeping in mind that, like, I guess, pseudo-realistic factor of, like, how would life go over here? That being said, Egret Tours Marina is on the water. If you're not familiar with it, I'll show you that eventually. But let me take you around and show you what is good over here. Now you can see that there's a chain link fence around the outside. This fence does not come with the vanilla game. This fence comes with a mod. It's called USO, which stands for Unlocked Settlement Objects, and what it does is it takes the assets that are in-game already, that Bethesda used to create environments that you could not use, and it unlocks them for your own personal use. So you can see I placed this chain link fence around the whole thing, sort of to serve as a wall. Mostly because when I built this settlement, I wanted it to look like a suburban cul-de-sac slash summertime fishing community. Yeah, I wanted it to kind of have this feeling of like a quaint little town, that there would be like seasonal festivals and all of that. They have fishing contests, who has the biggest gourd and stuff, along those lines. So I'm definitely going to take you around the entire thing. As we start out, you can see this chain link gate works right here. You've got somebody that stands here on guard. This is a guard post that came with a DLC. I think it came with a Vault-Tec workshop. They don't appear to be at their station right now, so I will discipline them accordingly, if you know what I'm saying. You've got a little arrow here pointing you towards the town square, but we're not out the town square yet. The first thing I want to take you to see is all of the houses, because I tried to arrange the houses in a way that created a natural border around the space and the borders of the settlement. I worked really, really hard on the houses, specifically on the interiors of the houses, using a combination of mods and DLC. So I'm going to take you inside every one of them, and I'm going to try to do it within the time constraints. But you can see the way that I designed these houses was to have a very quaint suburban feel to them, combined with, like, these post-apocalyptic ladder steps and all that. But you see there's mailboxes in front of every single house. There is a woman dressed as a mailman, and now I have something with a mod. Let me see if I can open up my menu. It's going to take me a hot minute. I have a lot of mods on this file, and when I try to open my settlement build menu, it takes quite a while. So let's wait. Just waiting, just waiting, just waiting. Still waiting. Wow. Okay, there we go. So you see this is a scavenging mat, so that will function like a scavenging station does. And you can assign a settler to it, but instead of the scavenging animation, it will do a different animation. This one says invisible scavenging mat, clipboard, and pen. So when the woman that's assigned to it, the post woman, comes over here and stands here, it looks like she's checking her clipboard, making sure she has the mail all ready to go, blah-dee-dee, nice and cool. Alright, we're going to start at this house and work our way around. This house belongs to a man who, in my mind, I named Pete. Pete owns Pete's Pistols. This is Pete right here. I don't know why he's standing there, but it doesn't really matter. So he runs this shop, which we will tour in a moment, and he lives in this house. He has a really nice, what's called a modular couch that I had to put together in pieces, but he has this with an ashtray right here. He'll come sit, smoke bogeys, and just look out on town, see what's going on, especially when the quote-unquote imaginary festivals are happening. He's got an American flag. I don't know if any of you have played Fallout 3, but there's a character named Nathan who is obsessed with America in Megaton, and I kind of took ideas from this guy, or from Nathan, to design this guy's house right here. American flag, Deathclaw head like he's a game hunter, because obviously he loves his guns. This is where people, when he has guests over, this is where they will sit down, and I kind of tried to make it like a little alcove, because I love the way that those feel, with all these big windows. There are big windows in every single house, kind of because I was trying to create the impression that they all trust their neighbors. It's all very neighborly. These floors came with a mod from the Creation Club. I don't know what it's called. I'll try and link it eventually. This is where Pete works on his guns. You can see he's got a toolbox right here, a wrench with all these different items, and then he sleeps in here with another American flag. This guy really loves pre-war America. Let me close the door. Alright, this is the second house. I love the design, like the blueprints of these houses. It just looks really cool, especially with these windows right here. I tried to uniquely decorate every one of these houses. This one has a little TV room with a little reading chair, cigarette. I think that's a lit cigarette. I love mods, so a little can of beer, a bottle of beer, and whoever lives here, comes here, they'll just sit on this lounge chair and they will read their books, smoke their bogeys, and get a buzz going with their beer. When they have guests over to watch television, they'll do so over here. Now, my idea in putting the television here was that eventually people might retake the television broadcasting towers and that they would be able to get some limited TV back on, even if it was mostly informational, like the way that the radio kind of is. This right here... Oh, look, somebody's coming down. You must have just woken up. Hello there. This right here is the kitchen, which is, like, under the staircase. I've always loved the way that rooms like this feel. You have a fridge. This doesn't actually open. This is just from a Creation Club mod, but it looks like it's full of stuff, so I thought it was pretty cool. This is a cooking station that has been reskinned to look like a stove. It actually works, so you'll come over here and do the cooking animation. And then what would be a dish sink over here. What it really is a laundry workbench, and you can take clothes that have clean and dirty variants and switch between the clean and the dirty variant over here. So, like, if you had a dirty pre-war business wear, you could turn it into clean pre-war business wear, etc. and so forth. So you go up the stairs. This cute little, look at this. So all these pictures and the candles, I thought that was a really nice touch. I love doing decor in these settlement houses. This is where they store their crap. This is where they eat their dinner. This is a Minuteman-controlled settlement, so this is the Minuteman flag right here. And this is where they sleep. These bunk beds came with a Creation Club mod as well. They each count as 2 beds, but I have never seen a settler actually sleep in the top bunk, so I don't know if this game can compensate that. Like, it's something that game can do. But it makes the bed count go where I need it to be, so that's good enough. Let's go to the next house. I tried to decorate the porches and the fronts of the houses differently. You can see they all have different flowers in front of them. I guess for, like, I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Let's forget about it. Let's see. This one's a little bench with cigarettes. Cigarettes are a big theme in Fallout 4 because I would imagine if the world had ended, I'd probably smoke cigarettes too. The theme of this house is cats. As you can see, there are several cat pictures here. I don't know if you heard the meowing cat in the background, but I have a mod that lets me place cats. Oh, look, there he is right there. You can kind of see him through the window. I have a mod that lets me place cats, so this person is a crazy cat person. This is another laundry area. This is that same laundry workbench I had been talking about. And this is a dryer, which just functions as a normal, what is the word I'm looking, like a chest or like a storage crate or whatever. You can see there's a bunch of clothes around here, and iron, and ironing board. It's just really set up to look like a quaint little laundry area. Even got a key right here for when they want to lock their door. The kitchen is in a separate room in this house, and it's kind of tight living quarters, or I guess you would say. But I use these decoration pieces from a mod that I have to decorate it like they use this kitchen, because that's something I really have always loved when looking at other people's settlement builds. And they have dinner parties over here. They get wasted. You can see they've got some booze, which would probably be a staple of a post-war environment. I've never lived in a post-apocalyptic environment, but I imagine if I did, I'd probably want to get drunk, like, all of the time. This cool picture frame that came with the Creation Club mod. It really looks nice, and it was really a nice touch over this booze shelf right here. Going up the stairs. This is where they play their video games, because just because the world ended doesn't mean you can't play video games, am I right? So right here you got a couple of different Pip-Boy games, computer to play them on. This actually works. This came with USO as well, but if I go onto this terminal, I can still load a holotape. Load Atomic Command up, so if I really wanted to, I could come here to play games. You can do it on your Pip-Boy, so you don't really need to do it on this terminal, but it is a nice touch for you know, just your settlement builds. You can got some posters of Astoundingly Awesome Tales. Whoever lives here is a giant nerd. Their living space is right here. Like I was saying, I tried to, as much as possible, uniquely decorate these settlements, or the individual houses in the settlement. So this is where they do their TV watching, they read their comic books, once again they smoke cigars. Got a couple bunk beds here. I used so many bunk beds because I figured communal living would be a bigger thing after the world ended, and also because I was working with very limited space in this settlement. I didn't have that much room for houses. Alright, you can see I put a water tower up here that obviously came with a mod, and there's another fence with a guy that stands guard at this fence in case anybody tries to come and screw our crap up over here. I ain't gonna let that happen, so I got some guards. This is where Bunker Hill merchants will come. I have a caravan outpost here. This actually comes in the vanilla game. I don't know if you have it or not, if you've seen it, but it comes in the vanilla game. Once you beat the Battle of Bunker Hill quest line, or the Battle of Bunker Hill quest itself, you gain access to this, and you can put it in your settlements, and Bunker Hill merchants will come and visit it. That's Cricket right there with her caravan guards. Alright, so you've got more flowers, another mailbox, big tall ceilings in this one with another Minuteman flag, some hanging meats. These people like their meats. They eat under the staircase, under the main bedroom right here. This is where they have their dinner parties, and you can see they're ready to host one right now. And then the bedroom is up here. This is a really tight fit, like a really tight fit, but I made it work. The door does not hit the bed, and that's good enough for me. Now, secluded in the corner of town is my player home. Whether or not you are familiar with this settlement, this building is part of the settlement itself, but it's got a little divot in here, and I built my home into that divot. You can tell by the difference in the color of the bricks. I've got my own little outhouse, and I've got a picket fence here so that it's not just open-ended to the other side of town. I wanted to give it the impression of like the end of a street kind of thing. I got my own little mailbox with my own little flowers. My own little chair to smoke my own cigarettes. Hold on. I had to send a text message. I have to do that sometimes. This is my kitchen. When I was designing this place, I designed it with the knowledge that I am not a big fan of bright lights. I really don't like bright lights. So I put these dim subway lights in here. And when I have male or female visitors, I feed them breakfast over here, and then I kick them the hell out of my house, because don't linger, I have stuff to do. I gotta fight for the railroad. You see that flag? I am a railroad agent. You can't just talk my ear off all day, leave me alone. This is where I keep all of my extra gear. I've got a lot of it because this file has about 16 days worth of playtime, which is pretty stupid and gross, but don't judge me, you're here watching a settlement build video. My bedroom, because I'm very selfish, has the biggest floor plan in the whole house, with this giant ceiling, all these track lights. This is where I keep my guns. This is where I play my video games, and this is where my female character does her makeup when she's, I guess, trying to impress some male or female visitors. This is my exact outfit minus the hood. I got this really nice bed that came with a mod. It came with a Creation Club mod, if I'm not mistaken. And this is where I take my baths. Now, there is rust on the building that is here behind my house, and for whatever reason, it just clips through the tiles that I placed down, so I can't really get rid of this, but it's not supposed to be like that. It just is, and there was nothing I could do about it. I got a TV right here, so, like, post-coitus, I can lay with the person who I've just coitused, for lack of a better term, and I can watch television. And this is where I load my guns when I'm going out to kill people, because that happens. To Town Square! You can see I've got some scaffolding here with heavy laser turrets and some guards. I got this idea from a streamer named Oxhorn, who is awesome, and you guys should totally check out his channel. But he does some settlement builds, and this is how he places his turrets, so I placed mine in a similar fashion. I don't think that he uses guard posts on top of them. The guards, honestly, don't have, like, any walking room, but it's enough for me. I got these nice oil lamp posts. I've got street names, because one of my mods came with blank street signs, and there's a DLC that comes with lettering, so I just named a couple of the streets. Egret Way, obviously this is Egret Tours Marina, so Egret Way is this street with all the houses on it. Plaza Square is where you do all of the shopping. So you can see I've got these tents, and merchants placed under the tents like that, so that when it's raining they can still do their business. And you can, I kind of was inspired by the bazaar from Aladdin. I don't know how many people who are watching this have seen Aladdin, but I was kind of inspired by the bazaar from Aladdin, where you just walk through and there's all these different stands and shacks that you can just pick crap straight off of. Right here, different crap, Christmas lights hanging up, there's my mailman.
Yes.
And we're going to go back to Pete's pistols really quick. Now you buy your weapons from Pete, right over here. And then you come over here, and I thought that this was a pretty good touch. It's a shooting range, so you can check out how the pistols work. All these little targets are attached to this speaker, and the way these targets work, they came with a DLC, they temporarily turn on power when you strike them. So they're all wired to the speaker. I strike them, and a sound comes out. That's how I know that I've hit them. Ready? Boom. Look at that. Let's see if I can hit one of these. Oh, yeah, I hit it. So that's where Pete has you test his pistols out. And you close that garage door back up. I had to use what's called a Place Anywhere mod to make it work. It eliminates the clipping so that you can place anything anywhere, kind of as the name describes. And I used that to make this garage door work right there. And I wanted to set this up like it's a fun-looking little plaza. You can see I've got all these posters and crap right here. A little fence poster that I used as a sign to tell you what's in this building. We'll get there in a second. Doctor, General Trader. This is the, like, nice restaurant. So this is the Starlight Diner, named for the Starlight Drive-In a little bit further north. Yep, there it is. And I kind of wanted to design this like it was a fancy restaurant. So you would go to, like, a fancy, dimly lit restaurant. You can see this guy is very classy with his bowler hat and his clean suit, and he's got all this crap right here. He is washing the top of his water cans, which I'm not going to question. It's Fallout 4. This is a Bethesda game. It happens. But I got these really nice tables with a mod. They got this cloth over them, and I figured it would look really good in a fancy restaurant like this. I got all these candles. I could not get rid of this. I have a mod that gets rid of most extra junk in a settlement, but it's a PS4, so Sony has not been cooperative with Bethesda as far as mods go. Instead, I used it as part of the centerpiece, so now you've got a Vim machine under here. This is actually that same scavenging station deal, except this one is a broom animation, so this guy is technically a scavenger. So now first floor is the office, or the diner, and the second floor is the mayor's office. I had to do so much work to get these floors to be the way I wanted them to be. These are floor tiles that I placed, and I had to use Place Anywhere to clip them into each other. That's why they have these weird angles on them. I am going to pull my menu back up right now, which is going to take probably about 3 billion hours, so hang tight. Wow. PlayStation. There we go. So you can see they're all kind of clipped into each other because there is no floor tile this size. But I had to work really hard to make that look clean. I did it. It took a long friggin' time, but I did it. So this is the mayor's office. The receptionist normally stands right here because this is the waiting room. If you have town business, you talk to the mayor about it. You just sit here, read some magazines. You go in here. And this is the mayor's office. I placed these walls. These are not in this room originally. You got mayor's office right there. And this is the mayor. The mayor is sitting at a security desk, so technically, according to Fallout, you know, the code, she is a guard, but aesthetically it looks like she is sitting at a desk waiting to take meetings, very important meetings, and she sleeps back here in a room that I sectioned off with walls. Now this is my pride and joy in this settlement. The way I place anywhere these walls is just fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful. This wall came with it. These didn't. This blinds didn't. This window didn't. But I'm just kind of incredible that way. So, yeah, look at that. Look at how good I am at this. Not that I want to toot my own horn, but I'm the best that's ever lived ever in the world. Sorry about it. I'm running out of time. You've got 2 more merchants over here. This is armor and this is clothing. A little bench area under the trees with some mute fruit planters, some oil lamps, and then a bunch of houses which I built into the water. If you cannot see, there are posts going into the water. I don't want to talk about the shenanigans I had to do to make that work. It actually wasn't placed anywhere, but I pulled some magic, and now here we are. Just like the other houses over there, they are all uniquely decorated. We'll get to them in a second, but first, this is where people picnic. And this is where the one homeless man in this city lives. He does not have a home, and so he sleeps under this tent on the dock by the dead fish. And he probably smells pretty bad, if I had to guess. I haven't smelled him personally, but he probably smells pretty bad. Every house on this stretch has grills. You'll see more later, but we're going to walk on in here, past the mailbox. We have some modern abstract art with, oh, look at this screen floor, so you can see underneath the water, just in case there's any monsters or buggies trying to come and get you. Sits under the staircase, he watches his television, comes up here to sleep. There was some really tight area I had to make work to get this to actually be a functional living space, but I did it. You can see I got a tiny little bed right here, and he has his own little balcony. Every house has a balcony. I probably won't take you on all of them, but every house has a balcony. Going to the next house. There's 2 houses right here with a restaurant. This is supposed to be more like a food stand as opposed to the really fancy diner over there, and I went kind of overboard with the decoration, but it looks really freaking good. All these different food items and stuff. This is all OC Decorator, so it lets you place stationary decoration items that won't fall when your settlement gets attacked. This is a children's room. As you can tell, there's a lot of different children's items over here. And then his single mom lives up here and sits out on her balcony and probably smokes cigarettes, because if there's one thing in the world that makes you want to smoke cigarettes, it is children.
Got work to do. Can't talk now.
And then this one has a sleeping area under the staircase. And you go up here, and this guy, I guess, is like an aspiring writer or something, because he'll just sit here and type away on his typewriter, and then come out here and, once again, smoke cigarettes. That seems to be a running theme in the post-apocalypse. Last thing, I built this staircase, or this pathway, obviously. This is a boat that I placed with a mod, and I made it into, like, the non-permanent living spaces in the town. So anybody that comes to this town but doesn't live here can rent out this boat, I guess from this guy, or maybe he's just sleeping here. And they can come and sleep in here and then do all of the fun things that the town has to offer in the meantime. It's like a little vacation home. It's so cute, so quaint. I put this raider tent up here so they can eat on the boat while it may or may not be raining. This is where I keep more turrets, because enemies tend to come from this direction, so those turrets are missile turrets, and they will blast them the hell out of the sky. I don't know why there's a Brahmin in my generator room, but it appears there is a Brahmin in my generator room. This is the generator. It supplies the settlement with 100 power. It came with a DLC. And right here is my farm. I do mostly carrots so that when I want to interact with the settlers, I don't have to wait for them to move out of the way of the plants. And I have a modded water purifier here, which lets me place it in the ground as opposed to in the water, which is how the water purifier normally works. I would like to see, really quick, before I end this, if I can make it nighttime so you can see how nice and pretty this town looks at night. I'm gonna have to sit on a chair, and I have a strange feeling because of how laggy my game is, with how many hours I've put into it and how many mods I have on it. It's gonna take me a while before I actually get down this 11 hours. So, blah, 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 blah. That's how I'm gonna entertain you guys. Ready? Blah, 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 blah. I can't think of anything interesting, so I'm just making noises. That's good enough for me. I'm watching my girlfriend eat chips, corn chips, Doritos, sweet and spicy sweet chili Doritos. That's what she's shoving in her face right now, and it's damn cute. It is damn cute. Alright, so check it out. I'm gonna go up into Pete's Pistols right here. Alright, and look how freaking cute this town looks. All these street lights, everything all lit up. The Christmas lights. What are you doing on that roof? How did you even get there? There are no stairs over there. I could do it right now. She wouldn't even know it was me. I'm not gonna do it. She works at the restaurant. She's the single mother from that other house. It would be really rude of me to shoot her in the head from here. Oh my god, there's 2 people on the roof! What are you guys doing? This game. Okay. Check it out. Check it out. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? I saw that. What are you doing over there? Alright guys, so that's it. That is my entire settlement build at Egret Tours Marina. I apologize if I talked a little fast. There was a lot to get through, and my PS4 does not want to let me take my time. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to my channel, because I will be doing more of these settlement tours. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.